Hey guys, it's Elle, back with you for another episode of Med Tips. Char! So, kung nagtataka kayo kung bakit pa iba-iba ako ng background, it's because I'm home and pangit palagi ang lighting sa different parts ng aking bahay. And wala pa tayong pang ring light, mga moms. So in this episode, I'm gonna be telling you how much it costs to be a first-year med student. Syempre, before kayo mag-decide, you still wanna go to med or if gusto nyo maging doktor, usually, ang notion is pang mga rich lang siya, sis. It's not the case. Meron din namang affordable med schools in the Philippines. So don't fret, kahit ano pang budget mo, you will become a doctor. Now, the first thing to consider about the actual cost of being a med student is, of course, the tuition. So I have collected around 12 schools. 12 kulang. Pero 12 schools in the Philippines. Now, I have asked my friends who are med students in different schools throughout Metro and Luzon for their tuition fees. Now, the reason why hindi ako magbibigay ng from Visayas and Mindanao is that I want this vlog to be as accurate as possible and I don't want to just assume from what I see on the internet or from what I see in other people's posts about it. I want to personally ask the questions from these med students. So, ito lang yung nakalap ko. Now, the 12 schools that I will be listing down are the tuition fees that also include the miscellaneous na. So, wala nang dagdag yun na yun for your first SEM. Now, I also will be listing down the NMAT cutoffs of the different schools para hindi nyo na i-search. Onting disclaimer lang pala, guys. These values that I will be presenting down below are estimates of the tuition fees pre-COVID. So, before the pandemic. Now, I'm not sure if ganun pa rin yung values now that online classes na lang tayo and hindi naman na gagamitin yung facilities ng school. Pwedeng may mabawasan, pwedeng walang mabawasan. It will depend on the school. So, the first is CSU, which has a tuition fee of around 33,000 pesos and has a cutoff of the 40th percentile. Now, of course, CSU is a public school, so you can also apply for the DOTTP program here. Next on the list is UP College of Medicine in Manila. They have a NMAT cutoff of 90 and their tuition fee is 50,000 pesos for the first SEM. Now, I know medyo mahirap pumasok dito since super cherry-picked and super talino ng mga nandito. Pero if you work hard and sa tingin mo kaya mo, go lang. Actually, I also applied here. Pero syempre, as you know, hindi ako nakapasok. So, SLU tayo ngayon, mga moms. And don't get me wrong, I love it in SLU, guys. It's a good med school. It's always in the top 10 in board exams. So, it's a good school. The third one is PLM. They have a tuition fee of around 80,000 pesos for the first SEM and their NMAT cutoff is 45. So of course, PLM offers various scholarships wherein I think mababawasan siya if you are a Manila voter, if your parents are taxpayers of Manila and the like. So I think Ate Aura, hi Doc Aura, Ate Aura has a blog about it and I'll try to link it down below if you want to go to PLM. The fourth med school naman is SPUP or St. Paul. Hindi po siya St. Paul Manila, it will be St. Paul University Philippines. What's the difference? St. Paul University Philippines is the mother school. So, ito po yung pinakaunang St. Paul in the Philippines and their tuition fee is 85,000 pesos for the first SEM. Their NMAT cutoff is also 40. Next, we have SLU. Yes naman, represent. So, SLU has around 108,000 pesos for their first SEM and an NMAT cutoff of 40%. Now, next up we have OLFU, which has a Next up, we have OLFU, which has a tuition fee of around 116,000 for the first sem. Ang alam ko, they don't have a cut-off, pero let's just say that it's 40 since yun yung standard that was set by CHED. So medyo tumataas na tayo mga sis. The next one is UST, which has a tuition fee of around 148,000 pesos. And an NMAT cutoff of 85. So, kayang-kaya pa rin to guys. Lalo na ngayon at maraming time mag-aral. Next, we have Ateneo School of Medicine and Public Health, which has a tuition fee of around 150k for the first sem and an NMAT cutoff of 90. Next, we have FEU, which has around the same tuition fee as Ateneo, which is around 150k, pero mas mababa yung NMAT cutoff nila, which is 45. And marami din silang ina-accept na students, so maybe mas mataas yung chance na ma-accept tayo for med school. Next, we have St. Luke's. Now, this estimate is not an estimate kasi pinakita sa akin yung whole breakdown. It is mataginting na. And they also have an NMAT cutoff of 90. Sorry guys, but I forgot to mention in my video that the tuition fee for St. Luke's was for the whole year, so it's divided by 2, which makes it around 150,000 pesos per sem. Next, we have De La Salle. Now, De La Salle has a 312,000 pesos tuition fee. Pwede ka na bumili ng coaches, sis. Pero don't fret guys, kasi this is what you will be paying for the whole year. So 2 sem siya. They just prefer giving your tuition fee estimate for the whole year para ma-plan nyo na kung magkano per sem or per month ang babayaran mo. Now, De La Salle has an NMAT cutoff of 90 and very generous sila in giving scholarships. I was also contacted by De La Salle to be given a scholarship of around 30%, pero I received it while I was already in SLU, which is weird. So if you divide it by 2, the 312,000 pesos becomes 156,000 per sem, which is still around the same range as the last 2 big schools. And next we have the most expensive of all, which is UERMMMC, which has an estimated tuition of around 160,000 for the first sem. Pero yun, I think it's still worth the money, especially if what they're boasting is that they have the facilities and probably world-class physicians as their professors. So, syempre mahal din pa yun ng mga yun. And they have an NMAT cutoff of 75%. Now, in my previous video, I listed down some scholarships that you can apply to. For some of the schools, I listed down, so you might want to go and check that out, and I'll link it somewhere here. Now that we have the tuition fee covered, next thing that we're gonna talk about is the boarding expenses or lodging expenses, which is gonna vary. Usually, in Baguio, where I stay, I pay around 7,000 pesos for a really big room, and it's big enough for me to have around 5 people in there for a sleepover. So technically, it's all about how you hunt for that perfect dorm or apartment. Next is books. Now, in recent years, iPads and PDFs became not really a necessity, pero more of what they actually use in school. Technically, an iPad or your phone is more transportable or more easily carried rather than 5 bulky books. So books are not really a necessity unless you really want to have a book. For me, what I do is I take it 1 chapter at a time and I print that. Kasi naman, I'll be paying 2,000, 3,000 for a book that I might not read everything. I think it's better if you invest in a printer and just buy a rim of bond paper every few months. For the whole first sem of my med school, I think I only bought 2 rims, which is mas mura kesa naman magpa-print ka sa labas, which is really expensive. Next we're gonna talk about is your coffee allowance. Now, personally, I don't really drink coffee that much. Yes, it's possible to be a med student and not be addicted to coffee. I drink coffee only if it's this much attached to this much milk. So, yung tipong walang tama sa inya, meron sa akin. What I drink is tea. Lots of it. And lattes that are not coffee-based. So, chai tea latte, matcha green tea latte sa Starbucks, those are my staples. Pero, they're still expensive. They're still expensive, sis. So, you're gonna need to set aside money if you study out always. Like me. So, yun lang. You should just try to save some money or like set aside some money if you really enjoy studying out. For me, I like a mixture of both. Sometimes I want to study out, sometimes I don't. So, usually varies. I still end up going to Starbucks around 5 times a week. Yan. Wala lang dinner, sis. So, now that we're done with the coffee allowance, next thing I'm gonna talk about is your extracurricular expenses. Now, sa ibang med school siguro, hindi na sila sumasama sa extracurricular activities. Hindi dito sa SLU, sis. Now, of course, prior to enrolling, they ask you if it's okay. And if gusto mo talaga dito, you have no choice but to say, Opo! Opo! Okay lang po. I enjoy it. I'm ready for it. Pero sa truth lang, ang hirap niyang pagsabayin, sis. So, advice lang to all those who want to go to SLU Med, be careful kasi marami extracurricular activities. Siyempre, hindi ko sure ngayon since pandemic if meron pa yung extracurricular activities. Pero since the beginning of time, meron na talaga, sis. So that's it. That's what it costs to become a first-year medical student in the Philippines. So thank you. I appreciate you for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and comment down below for what else you want me to make a video about. Bye!